Well guys, I ended up breaking 2 coolant lines. You guys can see where the dye leaked out. See the dye on there? Some of the hair got in there too. So YouTube, welcome back to another banger. Today we're going to be working on Buick Enclave. It's a 2012. There's an AC leak on this thing. The last guy working on this put 2 compressors in it. Said that the compressor was leaking oil. I beg to differ. I didn't see no oil by the compressor side. But no shade though, no shade. Basically what I did to diagnose this was I put dye into the AC system, recharged it, and I saw that the compressor was fine. Let the car run for an hour and put a bucket underneath the condenser tube, condensation tube, whatever the shit's called. Had UV dye in all the water. So another thing too, this thing was restricting a lot of airflow. When I took it out, it was blowing a lot more air. This is without the cabin air filter installed. Now when you install this, it doesn't blow as much air. Very drastically. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was that there's a refrigerant leak in the HVAC system. I'm just gonna go ahead and vacuum everything and recover. I think I do recover first. There might not be any refrigerant here anymore, but I'm still gonna be safe. I got y'all on the super wide lens. You guys can see the location's a little different. I moved my box over here. This box, and I got this box. This is all the Subaru stuff from the last video. And I'm gonna be dropping the Jeep video pretty soon. I went ahead and took off most of the stuff. I think all we gotta do is just take out the rest of the wipers. There we go. Let's try to keep this organized. If y'all saw the Super Impressive video, I was just making a mess everywhere. Like that on the Passat, I had to remove the interior on. Much shit going on right now. The part that's easy is taking shit apart. The part that's hard, putting all this back together. Bruh, I can't even take this thing off. What the hell? So there's really no point in me doing that, guys. Oh, no, there is, because I have to get to the bolts over there. So let's take this window motor off. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Damn, you're gonna need to have some strong ass thumbs to take that shit off. So there's like 2 bolts in here, 3 actually, and that's what holds the dash in. Oh, look at that, it took 0.28 kilograms. Yeah, I need to go put this machine back, but your boy's on a mission right now. My goal is to finish this evaporator core in one day. It is not, bucket. Pays 13 hours, that's what I got for this. Oh, and by the way, the battery's down there. And then this connector right here freaking broke on the other side. Just a little locking mechanism, but I know a way to fix that. Here we go. Say what's up to YouTube.
What up?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. T40? No, I'm way off. I bet T25. Close. It's 30, 230, 230. Bam. Just gotta push out and then push up. Doesn't want to cooperate. What the hell? Oh my god. Here we go. I gotta like fight this shit, y'all. Boom. Now that should be plenty of room. I'm gonna leave them up on here. I need to take this thing off. So it's 1, 2, and 3 bolts. 2 clips, 3. Some grass up in that thing. We're gonna throw all these in here. I keep forgetting that the seats aren't bolted down. But look. Oh, nice. So I did not do that. This shit was already like this. You guys see what I mean? It should come out as one assembly. It's like I need to take this pillar off first and then come out. Some of you guys watching are leak techs, let me know in the comments down below. Look how easy that is. Most cars, you gotta like fight this shit. There's a speaker up here that we could disconnect. It just pulls out. Yeah, this thing got a handle on it. One of the universal things about cars, like you always gotta take the pill out and then the sunlight sensor. So there's a sensor right here, and all I did was just twist it and then it came out. Got the clock out, and of course there's gonna be a connector on there. These connectors are very weird. Open the lock. This shit don't wanna open, bruh. I hope the camera quality is good. I'm looking at the preview on my phone, and this shit look kinda ass, I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, this POV stuff's trial and error. And it's just the bar. So there's the, I don't know what the hell this is. I think, is it like a ground? I mean, it's like a black wire. It might be the antenna, but you just pull on that very hard, and then these are just push down ones. Oh, look at that brake.
Hey, what's up?
This is my boy Oscar right here.
Hey.
See, we're making some pretty good progress here. There's some 10mm bolts up here, and then this thing comes out. Like, we're literally almost done. I'm taking out all the bolts on top. That's pretty much all I'm doing. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up on how to take this shifter cable off. So you're just gonna pop this out like this, right? And when you press these two tabs together, you can push the wire up like that. To reinstall is very easy. You just put it in the groove right here. There's like a groove, and just clip it in and push this back in here. That's how you take out your shifter wire cable. So I just got the center console loose, I think, backwards, and we can. So there we go. I don't even think we need to pull this out fully. We can just put this over here, like so. That should be plenty of room. Here, look. Perfect. I'm just gonna drop the steering column, and I think now, yeah, you can pull the whole dash out. It's held on by something still, so we have to see. I feel it back here, so I'll figure that out. Okay, so I just figured it out. I forgot that on dashboards there's airbags attached to it, and so I need to take this tray off, and you can see there's like two 10mm, one there and then one there. Once we take this lower tray off, we can get access to the airbags, disconnect it, and we'll be able to pull this out. But it's just two more bolts that I forgot in here, and then I'll be able to pull this out. Okay, so I've been stuck on this for about 10 minutes, and I just follow this black line here, and it leads to this connector. So you're not able to undo these connectors right here. You just gotta undo the connector from here, which is so dumb. All right, after all that struggle, almost there, boys. See this connector right here, guys? So dumb. I had to like take this pick and pry it right here, and there's like a little bump. You just need to go over the bump, and then you can pull it out. Oh, it's one of these stupid things. I remember Kia had these. This one's in the bad though. This side came out. Feel something spongy like that, and then pull out the airbag, and see, it should come out like that. This side was being stupid. 250 it is. I remember when I had my TSX, I did a video where I was changing out the steering wheel to an RSX steering wheel, and to be funny, I pulled out the steering wheel with the clock spring, but I didn't know that it would cause the car to not be able to honk and have an airbag light on. Forgot to update you guys. Got a little bit too carried away, but I think I'm almost there. So the evaporator core looks like it's back here, not right here. I'm gonna have to verify that. I didn't disconnect the heated core lines because that shit is very hard to take off. If I can slide this out. See, this is what I'm dealing with right here, y'all. Got the two lines for the heater core box. Of course, they put the damn evaporator on top of that. So dumb. That's the only thing holding the dash in, and once I disconnect that, we could pull out this whole assembly. So I might as well just go make a mess right now. Damn, these are like really on there. Well guys, I ended up breaking two coolant lines. These plastic things are so brittle. I guess I went too far back with the dash, and snap this, so I wish I would have undone these first. So I got the heater core out. Man, I'm really upset about that. I got stuff to do right now, and I can cry about that later tonight. Just gotta lift up. And there's your evaporator core. I think there should be a sensor on here, right, too. You guys can see where the dye leaked out. See the dye on there? It's like dark on the left side. Some of the hair got in there too. And I guess some of the stuff in the filter got in there. Looks good. Just gonna transfer over this and get everything back together off camera. Damn guys, your boy took the big fat L today. Was not able to finish this. Did start on this at around 1. I think from starting at 1 and ending at 6, that is not that bad. Spent the rest of the day trying to move all my stuff in this morning, so that's where the rest of my day went. I also had a diagnosis on the Ford F-150, but I'm just giving y'all a bunch of excuses. Hopefully tomorrow we can get this car done. All I had to do is just throw the trim back in and remember where all the connectors and bolts go. So note to yourself guys, whenever you're doing this, just take the time to disconnect these two and then go from there. Everyone's got to make mistakes in life, and I'm one of the people that own up to it. Some people would not even want to admit that they did something like that. That's not how I roll, guys. Honesty is the best policy. So here's the interior. Here's where we're at so far. The key does work. Able to roll back the seats, so that's a good sign. I don't want to start the car yet because I have a lot of stuff in the engine disconnected still. There's really no point in starting the car because obviously it's going to be a check engine light. I do want to verify that there won't be no SRS lights, so maybe I'll just stick my scan tool in. I think that's a good idea. That part that I broke, if you guys remember, I broke a part. It comes in today, so we will be able to get my hours today. This is a 13-hour job. I'm gonna be in my bag today. I guess I can give y'all a POV of me putting the seatbelt on. I think I twist it around like this. Yeah. And you just clip it on like that. Grab this. It looks like it just slides in there. There, let's see. There we go. On the difficulty scale on this Buick, not knowing what you're doing, like if you've taken out a dash before but you don't work on these cars all the time, I have to give it a 7. If I can go back and do this again, this shit would be gravy. I'll probably do it way faster. It's always like that when you're in this trade. Like you get to do something like this, put all your mind to it, and then you don't get it for like 2 years. I'm probably not gonna be doing the evaporator core for a while. The thing just slides in there like that, guys, but I'm making it look harder than it is. All right, now we gotta throw in our trim for the actual seat. Oh, I gotta fix this. Look, it's all curled. Dang it. So final touches right here, guys. Oh, almost fell. Why does this not want to go in? Go. Yeah, hear that power behind the smacks? I put this back. I don't know why I ripped out the whole interior. Oh yeah, I was trying to find the battery. It's like a little smuggling spot. So we finally got everything back together. As you can see, it's looking like how it looked like before I messed everything up. But let's start the car and see if we have any lights on. Please, 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 please. Yep, got no lights on, baby. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Oh, you got a brake light on, but there you go. Yeah, guys, no lights are on right now. And AC, will you work? I didn't put refrigerant in yet. I wanted to show you guys how to do that first. AC gonna blow? Sweet, the blower motor works. Or the low side line is right there, next to the oil filter. If you guys are gonna do an evac and recharge, I recommend waiting until the car cools down fully. That's why I didn't let it run for a bit. Yeah, let's go get the AC machine and I'll show you guys how to use it. Whenever you have this machine, it's the 134A. Usually these are easier to use, but if you're using the YF, you have to put in the VIN and all this stuff. For some reason in my machine, you don't have to put the VIN in or anything. Well, first step would be to install your high and low side lines, and basically you don't want to tighten this like super hard, just hand tight, don't go too crazy on that. And we're also going to bleed the coolant on this. Okay, so it's 1.32 pounds that we need to put in. I can see all this, so we're going to do a vacuum. Oh, here, let's just do auto. We'll make it easier and do auto. Electric compressor using pack oil. That's like for hybrids, so no. checking database. It's gonna be a moisture vacuum. I'd say 10 to 15 minutes is a good amount to do, but some people do 30 minutes, but we're trying to make money here. So we can do 2, oh shit, not 20 pounds. Holy shit, this thing would explode. 25, just to be safe. So 225 pounds on the high side, or you can do both. People do high side, so I'm just gonna copy them. Do you wish to take HC? No, I don't care about that. And you can add dye if you want or whatnot, but I'm not too concerned about a leak. I'm pretty confident in my repair. We're not gonna worry about the dye, and it's really hard to get to that low side too. Putting in dye, I remember when I was doing this, it was a struggle. It took me like 5 minutes to get this thing to clip in. We're gonna let this do its thing for a bit, and while we wait on that, we might as well just put the coolant in. I had to watch a YouTube video on how to do it, and I saw that this thing was off. I'm guessing that the coolant cap is gonna be underneath that. If I didn't have it. Should be everything. Oh, okay. So I filled up the reservoir already, and then I filled up this. You don't really need to fill up the reservoir. Let's get a bucket because it's gonna get a little messy. So after you guys are done installing the refrigerant to the car, the right amount hopefully, it's gonna tell you disconnect high side hose and connect the low side, start AC to max. Gonna make sure it's at max. And a good way to, on this car, see if the compressor's working is this button. Sometimes it'll flash if it's not working. These front vents are not blowing. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's blowing air. Maybe the modules had to take some time to relearn itself. I know when you change the module on these, you have to relearn it. High side disconnected now, low side plugged in. Now it's gonna equalize. Close coupler valves, disconnect service hoses from the vehicle, turn off the vehicle. So we're gonna turn the car off. Look at that coolant. Yeah, it sucked up a whole bunch. Right, let's get this out. See, this thing sucks, guys, because if this car is hot, I can't get this low side off. This is literally right next to the exhaust. So I think now it's gonna suck out all the refrigerant from the lines. But let's go ahead and bleed the coolant on this car. Put the max heat on. 90. Blowing very cold. You guys know you're done when there's no more bubbles from the coolant and the AC blows very hot. Let's go inside and see how the AC feels. It's blowing warm right now. Another thing you can do to help speed it up is just rev the engine. So I usually just do like probably 2,000 RPM. And you should be careful too, because coolant can shoot everywhere while you're doing this. There's some cars where the coolant rises upwards, and I don't recommend doing it. I don't know how this car is. We'll let it be chilling for a bit. Check out my boy Kai's Mustang. Thing's hella clean, got the saline, everything on there. And it's also a 5-speed. Very, very nice. Well, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video of the Buick Enclave. I definitely did. Working on this car was worth it because of the experience I got. And it's always good to do hard stuff that everyone's scared to do. The AC is blowing very cold. We're just gonna let it sit overnight, let the coolant bleed. It's time for me to head home. It's late. I stayed till 7 today and I got in work at like 8. Sir. And I did get the rear bumper painted. There's gonna be a video on this soon. And funny story, I did try wrapping the rear bumper and never again. I hope I dropped this video on Sunday, and if I do, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Appreciate you guys for watching my videos. Even though there's only like 100 or 200 y'all, I understand this is a process, and soon we're gonna rise up as I stay consistent. I'm praying to God that I do. I'm gonna make it my mission to stay consistent. I'm gonna try to do at least like 1 video a week, or even if it's one a month. Like, I just need to be consistent. I'm gonna blow up and become a legend, but to do that, I gotta have discipline and I gotta stick to the schedule. So, besides all that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot. It was very fun working on this car, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out, guys. Take care.